Alright, what's up everybody? King Leo here. Today we're going to go over the opening repertoire real quick. Hit a like and subscribe if you want more kind of in-depth into the strategy. I guess you could say the meta strategy for how I'm trying to get to 1,000 elo. Let's go. So anyway, the opening repertoire is 10 signature openings. Got 5 for white, 5 for black. There's 3 of them that I use really the most, but without further ado, here we go. We got the white openings with the center game. We're going to see if I can remember them off the top of my head. So center game, if I'm not mistaken, is e4, e5, then d4. And then from there, it depends on if they take on, if e takes d, and there's lines for that. Anyway, then you got the French defense. Of course, you got the e4, e6 going down. I usually play this as white. I don't usually play the French defense as black. Usually I play like the Paulson or the Nimzowitsch variation of the French. Anyway, then there's the Sicilian Alapin. I really love the Alapin. I hate the Sicilian. Love the Alapin. It's a good anti-Sicilian line. That one is e4, c5, c3. They usually call it the c3 Sicilian. Then you got the Caro-Kann fantasy variation. Because I don't usually play the Caro either, but it's good to have something against it because you're gonna come across it, right? So if I'm not mistaken, that's e4, c6, then you go d4, they go d5, and then you go, if I'm not mistaken, is that f3? Yeah, that's the Caro-Kann fantasy. Then you have the Perk defense. I don't know how to pronounce that correctly, but that's what it looks like it says. And that one I want to say was e4, d6. Yeah, I don't usually play that a lot. That's why it's kind of a number 5, right? But I usually come across it sometimes in a transposition form where they lock up the middle pawn structure. So I decided to add that to the list, so that way when I come across it sometimes, occasionally, I know what to do. Let's see. Black opening. Oh no, page unresponsive. Oh no. Okay, here we go. Black openings. We have the Aliakins defense. Love the Aliakins defense. That one is e4, knight f6. Yeah, I use that a lot. I love it. Let's see, we got the Indian game. Usually I go to the Mexican defense. Indian game is d4, knight f6. The Mexican defense in particular is d4, knight f6, c4, knight c6, and essentially you just bring out both of your knights, and then you play your pawns on the light squares. Next you have the Scandinavian defense, of course the good old e4, d5. I have a book on the Scandi, although I don't usually play it as often nowadays. It was the first opening that I had going on, so I'm pretty decent. Nimzowitsch defense, that's a newer edition. I added that in as a black opening because the center game actually has a transposition where black goes into something called the Kennedy Linkspringer variation. Oh no. But yeah, the center game. And so I decided to add that to the list, but it's kind of newer, so I still need to learn a lot. I think the Nimzowitsch was e4, knight c6, I think. Then we have the England Gambit. Not gonna lie, this opening's kind of trash, but I have it there for more fun and just to switch it up, because at the end of the day, chess is a game, right? You gotta have some fun with it. And essentially that one's d4, that one's d4, e5, essentially gambiting off a whole pawn. That one's newer as well. So the 3 that I come across the most are usually, I'll say the 4 I come across the most. Center game, French defense, Aliakins, and the Indian game. Of course, sometimes the Scandi, but usually as white as opposed to as black. So anyway, that's the opening repertoire. Yeah, but like and subscribe, and I'll keep going deeper and pull up chess base with the analysis.